Star Wars Acolyte Episode 5 is here, and it brings with it some game-changing reveals and a theory that hints to a very dark future. Welcome to Star Wars Uplink. Episode 5 is here. It actually did quite a few things. We're going to get into our thoughts around the episode later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. But first, I want to talk about this theory that I've got bubbling inside, that maybe the way that they revealed this is actually hinting to the Acolyte killing everyone that has witnessed him.
The Acolyte being this bad guy.
Yeah.
This Sith. Apparently.
Yes, which we're going to touch into. But I think this is going to be a big piece of the puzzle here. Clearly, Soul has something to hide.
Of course.
The Acolyte dude, nameless guy, knows something, may know something.
Sure.
Osha does not know something.
No, she's completely clueless in all of this.
Yes. But I think she's holding a bigger piece to the story than we have. I mean, we kind of theorized this almost like we had this theory that May and Osha would switch places, actually. I didn't think literally.
No,
in terms of costumes.
I thought it would be like just of choice.
Yes.
Like they would switch in their thinking and their mentality, where May would think, no, I'm going to join the Jedi and help my sister, but then at the same time Osha being like, nope, the Jedi screwed me over or something, and then something like that. But this is, no, May's just literally taking over being Osha.
But I also think it's literally in terms of their switching clothes, but I also think it's metaphorically in the story because of May and Osha's shift. May is doing this for Osha now that she knows that Osha's alive. Like she feels like she's doing this to protect Osha, that the only way that Osha will actually be able to live her life is if the Jedi are dead.
Oh, because she's brainwashed, as she said in the episode. Interesting. Okay, yeah. I'm following.
But I think Osha is going to go the opposite direction. This is going to be seen as a betrayal, and that Osha might actually be convinced by the Acolyte to join the dark side.
Boy. This could get real messy real quick.
Yes. I mean, there's so many threads here with this story in terms of the directions that it could go. I think what was the most interesting and probably shocking reveal in terms of the Acolyte itself, it wasn't his ultimate identity, because they couldn't have put it on a billboard more clearly of who this was going to be. But it was the reveal that he actually said Sith.
Yeah.
And this was a thing that we all kind of theorized that they weren't going to do. We kind of thought they would just say, no, this is like, keep it amorphous, like keep it this like ambiguous thing.
Right.
Of, oh, he's just he's a Jedi, or
he's just
a
dark
Force
side
user.
Yeah.
He's not a Sith, because the Sith have been dead for millennia. Like, there has not been this sign of the Sith.
Yeah.
I also love how confused everyone is in terms of like who the Acolyte is and like what it is.
Yes. And I like that Soul doesn't really react. It's almost like the Sith still are kind of just this legendary thing that like doesn't really exist.
He almost is acting like he's, you're cosplaying as the Sith.
Right. He's kind of like, I don't really know what to do with this information.
Yeah.
Almost.
Okay, pal.
It's like, okay, you're just a really difficult opponent. And I think you need to be stopped. That's what he's seeing now, but
he's more so focused on his own survival than he is about this revelation.
Right.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think that's very accurate.
I do wonder though, like it kind of breaks a lot of lore. And
how are they going to wrap this up to be still nice and tidy for the prequels and the...
Well, clearly everyone that was in that conversation can't live to tell the Jedi Order what had happened. At least
can't live to tell whoever we're going to see in the sequel or the prequels.
Exactly. Yeah, can't make it to Kia di Mundi.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like this is something, and I wonder if they're going to go in this direction. Clearly, Soul is hiding something, and it wouldn't be out of the blue if he's hidden something in the past that he would hide something going forward, especially from Vernestra Rowe and the rest of the Jedi Order there. I think that might be the path that they're going to go down, or May is going to get really strategic with Osha in terms of like distracting him with his story. I do think it's funny, though, that Osha will never hear the actual story from Soul, more than likely.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Now that they've switched places.
Yeah, no. It's going to be from someone else's mouth. And I would not be surprised with who all they've killed in this episode. That Soul's going to probably die.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the full picture. I mean, this goes into the theory. Like, I think this is the thing that Star Wars Acolyte is going toward, of like everyone is going to die.
Yeah.
Maybe even the Acolyte. But I kind of think that they may want to do another season.
Yeah.
So they may leave him there because there's 100 years that they have to play with.
It's true. They have a long time. I mean, it's not that long, but it is a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
So you think the Acolyte is the Sith guy? But like Acolyte kind of suggests that he's just a student.
He could just be studying the legends of the Sith.
Okay.
Or he could be whatever Plagueis' master is.
Right.
Or Plagueis'.
I mean,
I don't know how old Plagueis is by the time, like, I don't know the timeline in terms of where he is in the story. So I don't know if he would necessarily, like, it would line up for him to be maybe Plagueis' first apprentice. Maybe not.
Right.
But I do think that an Acolyte could just be someone who is studying the history of the Sith, too.
Yeah. It's interesting because he does say that he's specifically looking for an apprentice.
Yes.
An Acolyte.
A pupil.
Yeah.
Technically, he is just looking for an Acolyte, so...
Right. So...
maybe he is the Sith.
Right. Maybe he's the big bad. I don't know. And I mean, he is super powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredibly powerful.
Yeah. Surprisingly so.
Yes.
Impressively so.
As much as I hate the reveal, and I hate the lead up to it,
and once again, they
all of the reveals in the show
cannot keep a mask on.
Yes.
My pet peeve.
But like all of the reveals in the show kind of suck.
Yeah.
None of them are well earned. All of them are like the easiest to predict reveals of like, oh my gosh, it's not actually Osha.
What?
It's this other person who's a twin. Like all of the twists in the show are like that. Like you as the viewer are explicitly told by the characters and by this, like the actual visual filmmaking, there's nothing left to like
there's
chance.
No surprise.
There's no theorizing really.
Yeah.
In terms of like who done it.
Yeah.
Like that's just not the story.
No.
They're going in that direction, and the whodunit is actually like just switching it on in terms of like, yep, we're just doing this so we can do this other thing.
Yep.
But I do like the portrayal of his character.
Yes.
Once he's in the Sith mode.
Yeah, now that we've got him where he's fully revealed, it's like, okay, now we can actually get into this character. Like the before, I don't know, quirky poison master guy. Come on.
Which honestly, they didn't even need any of that.
No.
He's literally as that character in like 1.5 episodes. And then he's the Sith Lord. Like,
and you already had it figured out by the first episode that it's like, oh no, this is the Sith.
Something sus here.
Yeah.
I think they could have just cut that entire storyline out, and it would have been better.
Yeah. It
would have been much better for this to be some like mysterious villain. Because we already know that May and this character have a relationship.
Right, yeah.
Clearly.
We didn't need to see that.
We don't need any of the reveal that, oh my gosh, they actually know each other outside of this.
Right.
No. None of that's necessary in the story. Like, it probably would have been better if they just didn't go that route.
It's really kind of stressful to know that there's only 3 episodes left.
Yes.
Like, we're just getting to the meat of this stuff. And we have 3 episodes.
Yeah.
What?
Both of these past 2 episodes were 35 minutes.
They're not long.
No. So.
And they're packing strange amount of things into these things. And
pacing's really weird. I do appreciate, though, going back to this episode, how many people died.
It's true.
Lord Horde is dead. Jackie's
dead.
Both of them brutally murdered.
Yeah.
All of them actually brutally murdered. All of the Jedi that died.
And we have seen their bodies.
Yes.
Like post all of this.
Yes.
No one's taking them back on a ship.
There's no force healing
There's
them.
no back to tanks. It's great.
Soul like just straight up left their bodies. Like he didn't care at all.
Yeah, he did. He literally left their bodies. Interesting though, Sith guy can heal. Fascinating.
Yes.
I don't think they're ever gonna get into that, but that's real interesting.
Well, it's a nod back to like the sequel trilogy with Rey being able to heal.
But just fascinating that the Sith could do it.
So the Sith have a power that
goes beyond
beyond what the Jedi can do according to Palpatine. So
Love to see
He
it.
could heal others, but he could not heal himself. Is this actually Plagueis
Is
before
this
Plagueis?
Plagueis? What?
I mean, that's an interesting theory.
That would be an interesting
That
theory.
would be insane.
That would be really
If this is
intense.
Plagueis the whole time, I don't think that's true. But that would be madness.
That'd be wild.
So yeah, there's so many different things with this specific episode that are like loose threads that I don't know if they can actually do in 3 more episodes.
Yeah. Hopefully they at least grab hold of one and really run with it, and then maybe that's what the next season's about, is like cleaning up the other threads. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I do think everyone's gonna die.
I would love to see it.
Do a Rogue One. Yep. Everyone dies at the end. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Check out our podcast, and may the Force be with you.